Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Swedeep Academy. Today we are going to dive into a MCQ marathon from the chapter Power Sharing with complete full explanations. By the end of this session, I am confident that you will be able to solve every type of MCQ from this chapter. Before we begin, I highly recommend that you keep your NCERT book open and try to locate each question as we discuss it. This habit will greatly help during your reading or revision. You will be able to easily recall these questions later. These questions are thoughtfully divided into 4 categories as knowledge based, understanding based, competency based and skill based. And you know that nowadays CBSE asks mostly understanding based, competency based and skill based question. So this structured approach will definitely boost your preparation for the CBSE board exam. So without any delay, let's begin this session. First question is, Belgium share its border with which of the following countries? As you know, it's a direct question from second sentence, that is France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. So right answer is option B. What percentage of Belgians speaks the Dutch language? You know, now in Belgium, Dutch speaking peoples were there and French speaking peoples were there and Dutch were the majority. So right answer will be 59%. Okay students, these are the knowledge based MCQs. I don't think you need much explanation, but in later part when we will discuss understanding based or competency or skill based question, we will discuss every questions in detail. Next question is, in which region do French speaking people primarily live in Belgium? Answer will be now Wallonian region. What percentage of people in Brussels speak French? In Brussels means that is in whole, not in whole Belgium. Okay, Brussels means now in the capital city, and you know that in capital city French were the majority and their percentage was 80%. So right answer will be option C. Where is Sri Lanka located in relation to India? You know that south of the Tamil Nadu, and I have asked you a question in first video, that is there is a strait between India and Sri Lanka, and what is the name of that state? Okay, the right answer is Park Strait. Next question, question number 6. What percentage of Sri Lankan population are Sinhala speakers? And you know that Sinhala speakers, they are the majority in the country, and the right answer is 74%. Where Sri Lankan Tamils are primarily concentrated? Where Sri Lankan Tamils are primarily concentrated? Okay, if you can remember the map of Sri Lanka, okay, then I hope you can remember the answer. The answer is north and eastern part. That is right answer is option B. Question number 9. What religion do the most Sinhala speaking people follow? Sinhala speaking people. Okay, if you can remember the religious composition of Sri Lanka, most of the Sinhala speaking people are Buddhist, Tamils are Hindus and Muslim, and around 7% people Christians who are both Tamil and Sinhala. So most Sinhala speaking people follow which religion? Answer is Buddhism. In which year did Sri Lanka become an independent country? Okay, I have already told you Sri Lanka emerged as an independent nation almost near about Indian independence, and you know India got its independence in 1947. Just 1 year after, that is in 1948, Sri Lanka became an independent country. Next question. What was the aim of the Sinhala leaders after independence? What was the main aim? The main aim was they sought to secure dominance over the government. So the right answer will be Sinhala dominance over the government. Which act or what act passed in 1956 in Sri Lanka? And that is 1956. Which act? Now Tamil Language Promotion Act. And according to that act, Sinhala recognized as the only official language thus regarding Tamil. I hope you can remember. Which religion was given special status in the Sri Lankan constitution? That is Buddhism. Again, by disregarding the religion of others. What was the response of Tamil communities to majoritarian policies? What was the response of the Tamil communities? They were migrated to India? No. They accepted it peacefully? No. They adopted Buddhism, the religion of Sinhalese? No. So what was the response of Tamil communities? Now they demand for the independent Tamil Elam. I hope you can remember. Question number 15. Which of the following statement is true about the composition of the central government in Belgium? Central government in Belgium. French speakers have majority representation. Dutch speaker dominant completely. Equal number of Dutch and French speaking ministers, and German speaking community dominates. You know that Constitution prescribed that number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Central government means central government of Belgium. So right answer will be option C. What is the role of the community government in Belgium? Okay, community government. I hope you can remember, it is elected by the people belonging to different language community like Dutch, French and Germany. And what was their main responsibility? Now to control cultural, educational and language related matter according to their community. Next, which communities elect the community government in Belgium? This is elected by people belonging to particular language community, and you know in Belgium, Dutch, French and German speaking people are there. So answer will be Dutch, French and German. So right answer will be option A. Where is the headquarters of the European Union located? I hope you can remember. The right answer is Brussels, the capital of Belgium. Which two rival parties formed Germany's Grand Coalition government in 2005? Which two rival parties formed Germany's Grand Coalition government in 2005? Okay, this question is not according to your syllabus. Okay, I don't think this type of question will come in board exam. But it's the duty of you to go through the book thoroughly and tell me the answer. Answer of this question is in your book. Okay, आपन को book रे अच्छी answer टी. Okay, मैं hints दे देबी source part रो आस्ती. Okay, so I hope कि आपन एक question answer दे पड़ती है. Write the answer in comment section. It's the responsibility of yours. Okay, go through the book. Answer is there. What does tyranny of majority often lead to? Tyranny of the majority leads to it leads to a peaceful governance, it leads to equal representation, it ruin for the majority and oppression for minority, increase in literacy. Okay, there is a sentence in book that is tyranny of the majority is not just oppressive for the minority, it often brings ruin to the majority as well. So what will be the correct answer? Answer will be option C. Next question, question number 21. What is the distribution of power among different organs of government called? What is the distribution of power among different organs of the government? You know, different organ means legislature, executive and judiciary. And power sharing arrangement among legislature, executive, judiciary is known as horizontal distribution of power. And why it is known as horizontal distribution of power? Now, because all these institutions are placed at the same level to exercise different powers. I hope you can remember. So, what are the three major organs of the government? I have already told you: legislature, executive and judiciary. So which of the following is not one of the three organs of the government? So answer will be option D, that is military. Next, who are judges appointed by in a democracy. Okay, I'm example discuss karithile, that is executive. Judges are appointed by the executive. So answer is option C. Question number 24. What is the general government for the entire country called in federal system? You know, this is known as central government or union government or federal government. Answer will be option C. In India, the central government is officially referred as union and central government. Okay. Next question is, what is the system called where power is shared among different level of the government? Different level of the government. Okay, different organs of the government. Second one is different level of the government. That is known as federal division of power. I hope you can remember. Which of the following is a feature of democracy related to power sharing? Which of the following is a features of democracy but related to power sharing? So let's see. Power is always given to the richest people? No. Only one party rules permanently? No. Monarchs share power with nobles? No. People can choose among different contenders for power. Free and fair competition, class 9th, remember. So this is the feature of democracy related to power sharing. Answer will be option C. Next, what is coalition government? What is coalition government? Government formed by military leaders, government where one party wins a majority, government formed by alliance of two or more parties, government formed only by the president. You know that government formed by alliance of two or more parties is known as coalition government. Which of the following are examples of interest group? Try to remember interest group, and second one is movements group. Both are comes under pressure groups. So interest group are also called as SIG. Okay, that is sectional interest group. Okay, sectional means particular section को belongs करता, that is trader, businessman, industrialist. Okay, so right answer will be option B. So these are all about different types of knowledge based questions which can be asked from this chapter. Generally nowadays CBSE is not asking this type of question. It is focusing more on understanding, competency and skill based questions. So let's see what are the different type of understanding based MCQs. First one, which of the following best explain why Dutch speaking people were unhappy in Belgium? Why Dutch speaking people were unhappy in Belgium? Try to remember the tension of Belgium. Now, Dutch speaking community who got the benefit of economic development and education much later, they resented by what? Now, because the French speaking community were relatively rich and powerful. Okay, so answer will be they were in the majority in Brussels, they lacked political representation, they felt French speakers were economically more privileged, they wanted to separate from Belgium. So answer will be this, answer C. They felt French speakers were economically more privileged. This was resented by the Dutch speaking community, is not it? Next question, why was the situation in Brussels more sensitive? Why was the situation in Brussels? Brussels means na in capital city kotha pachara jauchi. Okay, what was the situation in Brussels? Now you know that in Dutch speaking majority in the country, but they were the minority in the capital. So answer will be option C. Okay, next, what made the ethnic composition of Belgium very complex? What made the ethnic composition of Belgium very complex? Now, equal population of French and Dutch speaker? No. The economic backwardness of the region? No. Unequal distribution of languages and political power? Next one is multiple religion followed. What made the ethnic composition of Belgium very complex? Now, unequal distribution of languages and political power. Take a confusion here. Unequal distribution of languages. Okay, different language group manakara unequal distribution. Dutch were the majority, French were the minority in the whole country. But in the capital city, French were the majority, Dutch were the minority. So unequal distribution of languages and political power throughout the country and also in capital city, that made the ethnic composition of Belgium very complex. Next, why could the Sinhala community impose its will on others in Sri Lanka? Just because of their numeric majority? Is not it? So let's see. Because they were economically backward, because they were supported by India, because they were in overwhelming majority. Yes, this is the right answer. That is option C. Because of their numeric majority. Which of the following religious group include both Sinhala and Tamil people? Remember, 7% Christians who are both Tamil and Sinhalese. What could happen in a multi-community country if the majority forces its will on minority? What will happen in a multi-community country? Okay, a country where diversity is very high. In that type of country, if the majority forces its will on minority, what will happen? It leads to conflict. It leads to civil war. Okay, so it would lead to equality. No. It could lead to cultural unity. No. It would lead to serious conflict, even partition. Yes, this will be the right answer. Okay, now let's see next. Why is Brussels a point of conflict in Belgium? What is the problem with capital city of Belgium? Let's see. It is the capital of German-speaking region. Both French and Dutch-speaking communities claim control over it. It has a large Christian population. It has home to Indian Tamils. Okay, sometimes what happens, we have to find out the answer from the options. Okay, it's a very good method to find out the answer. Okay, elimination method, that is called. So D and C both are belongs to Sri Lankan story. Okay, and between A and B, it is the capital of the German speaking region. No, there is no such type of statement. So answer will be option B, that is both French and Dutch speaking communities claim over it. Okay, sometimes options are so confusing that we have to use elimination method. Okay, so this is called elimination method. It helps you a lot. Next, why did the Tamil community feel alienated in Sri Lanka? Why did Tamil community feel alienated in Sri Lanka? I hope you can remember, none of the political parties led by Buddhist Sinhala leader was sensitive to their language and culture. The constitution, the government policies denied them equal political right. That's why it increased feeling alienation among them, is not it? So let's see what is the right answer. Because they were asked to convert to Buddhism, because they were granted more land in the north, because government policies discriminated against them in jobs and education, because they were allowed to form their own state. They were not allowed to form their own state. They were not granted more land in the north. Okay, government was not asked them to convert into the Buddhism, but we know they were discriminated. That is the right answer, option C. What was the primary cause of the civil war in Sri Lanka? What is the primary cause of the civil war? Now, distrust and conflict between the Sinhala and Tamil communities. That is the right answer, option C. Next, how did the Sri Lankan government respond to Tamil demands for the autonomy? Tamils demand for the autonomy, a special state, agreed to their demands, ignored them, denied their demands repeatedly, often offered them religious concessions. What is the right answer? Now, denied their demands repeatedly. What impact did the civil war have on Sri Lankan development? Economics में पढ़ी Sri Lankan's excellent record of economic development, education and health all are ruined. Okay, just because of the civil war. So what will be the correct answer? Now it severely affected its social and economic life. Next question is, why did Belgian leaders choose to amend their constitution multiple times? To ensure, remember the sentence, they amended their constitution 4 times, just to work out an arrangement that would enable everyone to live together within the same country, to establish harmony, to establish peace. That is the main aim. So why did Belgian leaders choose to amend their constitution multiple times? What is the right answer? Now to declare Belgium as a theocratic state, to impose majority rule, to ensure peaceful coexistence among communities. So right answer will be option C. What makes the Belgian model of power sharing innovative? What makes the Belgian model of power sharing innovative? Okay, because only Dutch community has power? No. They believe in power sharing. Minorities are excluded from governance? No. It allows unilateral decision making? No. You know that both the linguistic communities need to participate, or some special laws require the support of majority of members from each linguistic group. You know that. So there is no scope for unilateral decision making. It ensures that no single community can make decisions alone. It ensures that no single community can make decisions alone. That is the reason because of which, okay, this is the feature. It ensures that no single community can make decision alone. That is the reason because of which we can say Belgian model of power sharing is very innovative. Next, what condition is required for passing certain special laws in Belgium? That is the majority support from both linguistic group. Okay. Next is, why is the Belgian model considered complicated? Okay, because it allows monarchy and democracy together, because it uses multiple official languages in all laws, it has multiple level of government and power sharing between communities, and it gives complete power to the army. Answer will be option C. Why? Now, because it has multiple level of government. Power sharing arrangement between different communities is too complex. That's why Belgian model considered as complicated. What was the primary goal behind Belgium complex arrangement? What is the main aim? Main aim is to divide the country or to promote unity. So to avoid civic strife and to maintain unity. That is the primary goal behind the Belgium complex arrangement. Next question. Why is power sharing important in a democracy according to the moral reasoning? Why power sharing is important? It leads to quick decision, it brings prosperity automatically, it offers the spirit of democracy by involving people, it helps leader stay in power. Okay, question is, according to moral reasoning, moral cause, okay, moral cause of power sharing, you know, the spirit of democracy. It affords the spirit of democracy by involving people. So right answer will be again option C. Next question. Why did Germany have to form a grand coalition government in 2005? Okay, again this question belongs to you. Okay, go through the book, read all the sources, and you will get the answer, and answer me in the comment section. Why horizontal distribution of power is considered important in a democracy? Horizontal distribution of power is also called as the system of check and balance. It prevents misuse of power by any one organ. That will be the right answer. Okay, that's why this system is called as the system of check and balance. I want to say one thing. Okay, ମୁଁ notice କରୁଛି ଏଯାଏ ମୁଁ ଯେତିକି ବି PDF ଯେତିକି ବି MCQs କଲିଣି ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ପ୍ରାୟତଃ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ସର ଆନ୍ସର୍ ଅପସନ୍ ସି ହିଁ ଆସୁଛି। ମୁଁ ଏହା ଜାଣିଶୁଣି କରିନି, ବଟ୍ आर अर्थ या नुह हाँ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन रे आपण मैंने देखिकी आखि बुझी कह ऑप्शन सी ही राइट आंसर। हाँ मुझे या नोटिस करनी मुझे वीडियो कला समय मु नोटिस कर मोस्ट ऑफ द आंसर्स ऑप्शन सी रे ही अच्छे। हाँ ओके ओके नेक्स्ट सी। Question number 20. Which principle ensure that each organ of government restrains the other from becoming too powerful? Which principle ensure, okay, that each organ of government restrains the other from becoming too powerful. That is because of the horizontal power sharing, because of the system of check and balance. Again option C. Next, which of the following is an example of vertical division of power? Vertical division of power means the power sharing arrangement between central government, state government and local government. Oh my god, I option B as okay. Next, question number 22. Why is vertical division of power important in federal country like India? It centralizes all power in parliament? No. Main aim is to decentralize the power. It prevents the judiciary from interfering? No. It distributes responsibility and avoids conflict? Yes, ये पारे option. It weakens democracy? No. Answer will be option C. C is the right answer. It distributes responsibilities and avoids conflict. Next question is, which of the following countries followed federal division of power like India? You know, that is Belgium. Which of the following is an example of power sharing among social groups? Power sharing arrangement among the social group. Okay. Which example? Let's see. Federal government sharing power with state? No. This is called federal division of power. Judiciary exercising check on the legislature? No. This will be the horizontal power sharing. Community government in Belgium, local government passing development plan. Community government of Belgium is the example of power sharing arrangement among social groups. Next, what is the purpose of reserve constituency? What is the purpose of a reserve constituency? You know, the main purpose of the reserve constituency is to, what is the main purpose? Now, diverse social group, they would not feel alienated. Okay, so alienated feel no करिए, से weaker section को आमे गोटे chance देबा government making process रे participate करिबा पाई. So to increase competition in election? No. To encourage majority rule? No. To promote military rule? No. The right answer will be to ensure representation of the weaker section so that they would not feel alienated. That will be the right answer. Next, which social groups often get representation through legal or constitutional arrangements? Which social group often get representation through legal and constitutional arrangement? 33 reservation for women, reservation for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe or other backward caste, weaker sections. So right answer will be weaker section and women. Again option C, Okay, next question. Question number 27. Why is power sharing among social groups considered important? Why is power sharing among social groups considered important? What is the reason behind the power sharing arrangement among the social group? I have already told you. They will not feel alienated. So the right answer will be to ensure diversity is respected and represented. That is the right answer. It ensures diversity is respected and represented. Next question. How does the community government in Belgium ensure inclusiveness? How does the community government of Belgium ensure inclusiveness? Let's see. Now it gives power to only one majority group? No. It provides cultural autonomy to linguistic group? It only allows Dutch speaking to participate? No. It is limited to economic decision? No. It provides cultural autonomy. It provides cultural autonomy to linguistic groups through forming their own community government. Okay. Next question. Why is competition among political parties important in a democracy? Why is competition among political parties important? To keep election expensive? No. It ensures power does not stay with one party forever. It makes politics violent? No. It helps dictatorship to grow? No. It ensures power does not stay with one party forever. Okay. That's why competition among political parties is very important in a democracy. Next question. How do pressure groups influence power in a democracy? By forming armies, by creating laws, by influencing decision making and policies, by contesting elections. So you know that pressure groups are not interested to participate in election. They are not creating laws. They are not forming armies. So the right answer will be by influencing decision making and policies. So these are the understanding based question. Now let's go to the competency based MCQs. First question, imagine you are a Dutch speaking Belgian citizen in 1950s Brussels. How do you most likely feel about the existing social structure? Suppose you are a Dutch speaking Belgian citizen in 1950 Brussels. How do you most likely feel about the existing social structure? तमें कौन feel करता जो social structure थिला? Satisfied with equal right, proud of being a linguistic majority, resentful towards the economically dominant French-speaking community, indifferent to linguistic division. Okay, think about the ethnic composition of Belgium. Question होची जदि तमें से भली एथनिक कंपोजिशन थिबा गोटे कंट्री रो पार्ट ही थांत बेल्जियम रो पार्ट ही थांत ताहले एक्जिस्टिंग सोशल स्ट्रक्चर एक्जिस्टिंग एथनिक कंपोजिशन को तमें एक्सेप्ट करि थांत कि ना डच स्पीकिंग कम्युनिटीज भली तमें माने भी रिसेंटेड फील करथांत टुवर्ड्स फ्रेंच आंसर विल बी ऑब्वियसली ऑप्शन सी ओके वेदर डच स्पीकिंग कम्युनिटी और व्हाटएवर केही भी होना कहीं ओके जदि मेजोरिटी ग्रुप्स मेजोरिटी होंतु कि माइनोरिटी होंतु गोटे पर्टिकुलर कंट्री रे गोटे पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप ही केवल डेभलप करछन्ती सेमाने ही सब बेनिफिट्स नौचन्ती एथिरो जदि अदर ग्रुप्स बाद पड़छन्ती ऑब्वियसली दे विल फील रिसेंटेड ओके so resentful towards the economically dominant French speaking community. Next question, if Belgium did not take steps to resolve the tension between language communities, which of the following could have been a possible outcome? If Belgium did not take steps to resolve tension between the language communities, Belgium रे जो situation थिला जदि से situation को सेमाने proper accommodation through resolve करि न थांते which of the following could have been a possible outcome? Then कौन ही थांता ओके श्रीलंका भली सिचुएशन क्रिएट ही थांता से पीसफुली कोएक्जिस्ट करि पार न थांते नेशनल यूनिटी को से सेफगार्ड करि पार न थांते इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ ही पार न थांता कौन ना सोशल अनरेस्ट रीजनल डिवाइड सिविल वार ओके सो राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी. Next question, imagine you are a Sri Lankan Tamil living in the north. What issue might you face under Sinhala dominance? Freedom of religion, equal representation, linguistic discrimination, and lack of power and full political control. Okay, suppose तुम्हें तमिल ही था okay in the north of Sri Lanka, कौन फील ही था ना तुम्हें फील कर था ना you are discriminated. तुम लैंग्वेज को प्रायोरिटी दिया जाऊनी तुम कल्चर प्रति कहीं सेंसिटिव नुहति ना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ना गवर्नमेंट कहीं भी पॉलिटिकल राइट्स बा जॉब पाइबा क्षेत्र हो अपॉर्चुनिटीज पाइबा क्षेत्र हो सब कथार आपको डिनाइड करा जाउची सो लिंग्विस्टिक डिस्क्रिमिनेशन लैक ऑफ पावर ये फील करता. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, which action by the majority community is most likely to lead unrest in diverse country? Which action by majority community is most likely to lead unrest if they shout dominance? Okay, granting equal rights to all, no. Promoting one religion or language, encourage cultural diversity, developing backward region. So majority community को भली डिसीजन बा एक्शन नेले कंट्री रे अनरेस्ट क्रिएट हबो जदि सेमाने सेमानकर पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज बा पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन को प्रमोट करिवे ओके देन ओनली इफ ए कंट्री गिव्स मोर प्रेफरेंस टू वन लैंग्वेज एंड रिलीजन व्हाट कुड बी द लाइकली कॉन्सिक्वेंस कौन हबो सिविल अनरेस्ट क्रिएट हबो पीपल विल फील एलिनेटेड एलिएशन एंड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट अमंग मेजॉरिटी ग्रुप्स माइनॉरिटी ग्रुप्स ओके पीस हार्मोनी एस्टाब्लिश हो पारिबनी जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज एनहांस हो पारिबनी बैलेंस डेवलपमेंट हो पारिबनी ओके. नेक्स्ट इज व्हाई वाज द आइडिया ऑफ तमिल एलाम प्रपोज्ड? व्हाई वाज द आइडिया ऑफ तमिल एलाम प्रपोज्ड? ना यू नो who demanded that? Tamils. Okay, why? Now because they were discriminated. To demand a separate independent state in the north and east of Sri Lanka. Why was the idea of Tamil Elam proposed? To create Tamil nation with India? No. To provide shelter to Tamil refugees? No. To promote tourism in Tamil area? No. श्रीलंकार नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन रे जेहेतु तामिल्स मैंने अधिका रोते तामिल एलाम आइडिया ही है जे आमको अधिका ऑटोनोमस बॉडी आमको अधिका ऑटोनोमी दिया जाओ ओके दे डिमांड सेपरेट इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट ओके What does the question, what's a wrong if the majority community rule? What does the question, what's wrong if the majority community rule? Reflect about majoritarianism. कौन होगा? It encourages diversity. No. It neglect minority rights and promote one-sided dominance. Yes. यहाँ ही होगा. It neglect minority rights and promote one-sided dominance. Equal opportunities promote होबोनी. Coalition government ही परिबोनी. Okay. Next. Why did French-speaking people agree to equal representation in Brussels? Why did French-speaking people agree to equal representation in Brussels? Remember, Brussels means in capital city. Now in capital city, French-speaking people accepted equal representation because the Dutch-speaking community has accepted equal representation in the central government. Okay, so Dutch speakers agreed to equal representation at the central government. That is the reason because of which French-speaking people agree to equal representation in capital city. Next is, how does the Belgian model ensure equal power between communities in Brussels? How does the Belgian model ensure equal power between the communities? Okay, so let's see. By rotating leadership, through community voting, by giving both communities equal representation in the Brussels government. Yes, just be discussed. Right answer will be option C. What is the significance of not allowing a single community to make decision unilaterally in Belgium? कौन होगा द्वारा? What is the significance of not allowing? जदि कौन से सिंगल कम्युनिटी को यूनिलेटराली डिसीजन नेबा पई बेल्जियम रे दिया गला नाही आ पछर मेन सिग्निफिकेंस कौन आ द्वारा गवर्नमेंट इट डिलेज गवर्नेंस इट अवॉइड्स फॉरेन इंटरफेरेंस टू एंश्योर पावर शेयरिंग एंड प्रिवेंट डोमिनेशन टू प्रमोट डिक्टेटरशिप व्हाई ना टू एंश्योर पावर शेयरिंग एंड प्रिवेंट डोमिनेशन यदि कौन से सिंगल कम्युनिटी को आम एलाउ कर दौचे यूनिलेटराली डिसीजन नेबाई आ द्वारा पावर शेयरिंग हेनी आ द्वारा कौन से पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप्र डोमिनेशन को आम प्रिभेन्ट करें बट जदि आम पावर शेयरिंग अरेंजमेंट को जदि आम कौन से डिसीजन नेबाई जदि आम कौन गोटे पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी को यूनिलेटराली एलाउ न करी समस्त को जदि आम समस्त सपोर्ट जदि आम चाहूचे देन आ द्वारा पावर शेयर हम आम डोमिनेशन को प्रिवेंट कर सो राइट आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन सी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन व्हाट लेसन डू वी लर्न फ्रॉम बेल्जियम पावर शेयरिंग मॉडल आम कौन शिखिले पावर मस्ट बी सेंट्रलाइज एंड इफेक्टिव डोमिनेंस नो यूनिटी इज अचीव थ्रू डोमिनेंस नो रेस्पेक्टिंग कम्युनिटी differences and ensure peace and unity yes that is the right answer option C okay next which of the following correctly contrast the approaches of Belgium and Sri Lanka towards power sharing which of the following correctly contrast the approaches of Belgium and Sri Lanka towards power sharing Sri Lankan power sharing model and Belgium power sharing model भितर गोटे great contrast आमे पाइबा okay कौन ना both respected all communities equally no Belgium respected diversity Sri Lanka imposed majoritarian role yes that is the difference okay next okay exam रे एभली करिवोनी okay you have to read everything A B C D चारटा को पॉइंट पढ़िबो then decide करिवो which is the right answer okay now वीडियो करछि वीडियोटी बहुत लंबा भी ही होलानी okay that's why मो सबुडा का ऑप्शन पढुनी बट एग्जाम रे रिमेंबर ऑलवेज रीड ऑल द पॉइंट्स देन फाइंड आउट which is the or which will be the appropriate point बेले बेले एमित थाए ऑप्शन बी सी बोथ आंसर फिल हबो बट से केस रे यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट which one is more appropriate according to this question okay next if a country ignore the interest of minority communities what could be the result based on Sri Lankan example जदि गोटे कंट्री माइनॉरिटी मानकर इंटरेस्ट को अणदेखा करे इग्नोर करे ताले श्रीलंकान एग्जांपल आम कौन शिखिले What could be the result? कौन result हबो ना civil war, unrest. Okay. Next, question number 14. Which of the following statements best reflect a prudential reason for power sharing? Prudential reason to power sharing. Power sharing must reduce conflict and political instability. That is the prudential reason for power sharing. Power sharing हेबा द्वारा conflict को आमे एड़े परिबा, political stability को आमे enhance करि परिबा. Okay. Next, what democratic value is highlighted in moral reasoning for power sharing? What is the moral cause of power sharing? Remember, rule by bureaucracy, decision making without discussion, people rights to be consulted in governance. Okay. Remember, in democracy, people's right to be consulted in governance. In a democracy, लोकों को आमे कोभली गवर्न करिबा यह जानिबार अधिकार लोकंकर अछि, एंड दैट्स व्हाई लोकंकर अनुमति बिना तांकर कंसल्टेशन बिना आमे ताको गवर्न करि परिबा नाही. पीपल राइट्स टू बी कंसल्टेड इन गवर्नेंस, दैट इज द वैल्यू व्हिच इज हाइलाइटेड इन मोरल रीजनिंग फॉर पावर शेयरिंग. नेक्स्ट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 16. If judges find that a law made by legislature violate the constitution, what can they do? What can they do? Remember, if judges find that law made by the legislature, जदि legislature द्वारा तैयारी करा जाइथिबा law टी constitution को violate करूची, ताले judges बा हमर court कौन करि परिबो, judiciary कौन करि परिबो. Okay, it can declare it void. Okay, so right answer will be they can declare the law invalid. Okay. Separation of power and the system of check and balance time discuss करथिले. Okay. Next, which of the following is an example of check and balance? That is executive making law directly, parliament being answerable to the judiciary reviewing executive action, legislature implementing the constitution. Which of the following is an example of check and balance? That is judiciary reviewing executive action. Parliament being answerable to the judiciary, no, it answer about parliament being answerable to the legislature, executive being answerable to the parliament jodi hitanta, then answer hitanta option B. Otherwise borton answer of right answer is option C. Okay, then next is which of the following best explains federalism? Which of the following best explain federalism? That is the constitution divides power between multiple levels of government, between central government, state government and the local government. This is the right answer. Next is, suppose in a country there are no legal provisions to include minority group in the decision making process. Which of the following might be a possible consequences? Okay, जदि आमे कोनसी legal provisions रखिबानी minority माननको decision making process रे include करिबा पई, ताले हबो कोन ना से माने alienated feel करिवे, unrest हबो, civil war हबो. So right answer will be option C. Okay, next is a country introduces a law that ensures women occupy 33% of seats in local bodies. What kind of power sharing? This is horizontal or vertical or federal? It is power sharing arrangement among different social groups. Imagine a country where only one political party is allowed to function. What would be the likely consequence? Okay, निज इच्छा रे शासन करिवे, dictatorship, authoritarian government हेबार chances is very high. Okay, जन ही शासन रे अछंती, power एठे share होनी काहा भितरे. So lack of power sharing, rise of dictatorship, that will be the right answer. Okay. Next, a group of farmers influence government policies to ensure better prices for their produces. This is an example of group of farmer influence government policy. It means it's all about, that is sectional interest group. Okay, so it's a part of pressure group activity. It is a part of pressure group activity. Okay, then next. Okay, so this is all about competency based question. Now let's do assertion and reasoning and skill based MCQs. Okay, भिडियो टी लंबा ही ठीक अच्छे आपण मानकर जदि पेशेंस रहुनी एते समय भिडियोटी को देखिया पे भिडियोटी को आपण पार्ट रे भी देखि परिबे ओके मो पार्ट वाइज को समय रो हमर असर्शन रीजनिंग एंड स्किल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट हिची को समय रो कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट हिची मो तार डिटेल्स डाटा डिस्क्रिप्शन रे दे देबी सो दैट इट विल बी इजियर फॉर यू टू वॉच दिस वीडियो ओके so let's see assertion reasoning and skill based MCQs. In Belgium both communities have equal representation in the Brussels comment. In Belgium both communities have equal representation in the Brussels comment. Capital city ro government re both community ko equal representation thila correct. Assertion is correct. Reason the French speaking people accepted this because the Dutch speaking community agreed to equal representation at the central level. Okay, French speaking people accepted this because Dutch speaking community agreed to equal representation at the central level. I hope you can remember whole country re majority thile Dutch, minority thile French, but capital city re French thile majority but minority thile Dutch. तो French speaking people को एक्सेप्ट एथिपाई करथिले काहेकि ना डच स्पीकिंग कम्युनिटी मेजॉरिटी थिबा सत्वे भी कंट्री लेवल रे इक्वल रिप्रेजेंटेशन को से माने एक्सेप्ट करथिले दैट्स व्हाई फ्रेंच स्पीकिंग पीपल एक्सेप्ट करथिले ब्रुसेल्स कमेंट रे इक्वल रिप्रेजेंटेशन इट मींस बोथ द स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट and R is the correct explanation of A. So in assertion and reason based question how you have to solve the questions first तुमको देखिबार अछि assertion correct अछि कि second तुमको देखिबार अछि reason correct अछि कि both जदि correct then option C कि D answer होबो नाही because in option C A is true R is false in option D A is false R is true जदि भितर कोटा गोटे ठीक किंबा कोटा गोटे भूल हो जाउचे देन ऑप्शन सी डी भितर गोटे बट जदि बोथ करेक्ट यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट वेदर आर इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ ए और नॉट ओके सो योर राइट आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन ए नेक्स्ट Belgium power sharing system prevented the division of the country. Yes, correct. It gave power to only one linguistic group to maintain control. No, power share करा जायछि कोनोसी पर्टिकुलर लिंग्विस्टिक ग्रुप को कंट्रोल करिया पे पावर दिया जाय नै सो हियर assertion is correct but reason is wrong it means right answer will be A is true but R is false. Next, Sri Lankan majoritarian policies led to civil war. Correct. These policies ignored the right and interest of Tamil minorities. Correct. That is the reason. So here both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Next, match the country with their approach to power sharing. Belgium and Sri Lanka. Belgium रा approach कौन थिला ना share power among all communities. Sri Lanka रा approach कौन थिला majoritarian rule by singular. Direct answer option option गुडी को भूल अछि right answer will be option A and according to this B. Okay, this is the correct answer. Belgium A and Sri Lanka B. Compare the population of Belgium to Haryana, which is correct. Okay, compare the population of Belgium to Haryana. Belgium has more people than Haryana. Then second is Belgium has about half of the population Haryana. Haryana is less populated than Belgium. Both have equal populations. You can remember the sentence. It has a population of a little over the 1 crore and about half of the population of Haryana. It means right answer will be option B. Okay. Next, which of the following statement is true about the French speaking community in Belgium during 1950s? Which of the following statement is true about the French speaking community? Let's see. They were the majority throughout the country. French speaking no. Dutch thile majority. They were economically weaker than the Dutch speaking no. Minority थिबा सत्वे भी सेमाने economic development and education रो फायदा बहुत नहीं पाथिले. They had more economic and political power despite being a minority. Yes, that will be the correct answer. Option C. Okay. In Brussels, what is the status of Dutch speaking population? In capital city, they are the minority. They are the majority in the country but minority in the capital city. So let's see. Linguistic majority in the city, minority in the city but majority in the country. Yes, minority in the city but the country with majority. Okay. Next is compare Compare the population size of Sri Lanka and Haryana. Which statement is correct? You know that if you talk about population of Sri Lanka, it has about 2 crore people, about the same as in Haryana. Okay, so right answer will be option B. Which of the following is an example of majoritarian policy? Giving equal official status to all, passing laws only in one community language, promoting religious diversity in school, ensuring fair representation. Which among the following is an example of majoritarian policies? Passing laws only in one community language. Okay. सब लैंग्वेज को ऑफिशियल स्टेटस दबा, स्कूल रे रिलीजियस डाइवर्सिटी को प्रमोट करिबा, इक्वल एंश्योरिंग फेयर रिप्रेजेंटेशन, दिस ऑल आर अगेंस्ट ऑफ द मेजोरिटेरियन पॉलिसी. वन कम्युनिटी लैंग्वेज को ही प्रमोट करिबा, दिस इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ मेजोरिटेरियन पॉलिसी. Which of these outcomes is a direct result of ignoring minority rights in a democracy? Which of this outcome is a direct result of ignoring minority? Minority मान को ignore कले हवा कौन ना, civil war, conflict, unrest. Okay. Next, power sharing reduces social conflict and political instability. Yes, power sharing द्वारा social conflict को हमें उड़े परिबा, political instability को भी कमे परिबा. It allows majority community to impose their will. No, power sharing द्वारा majority community मानकर will को impose करा जीवो नहीं. तो here A is true but R is false. Next, moral reasons highlight the spirit of democracy in power sharing. Yes, moral reasons highlight spirit of democracy. A democratic system allows citizens to participate and influence decision. Yes, a democratic system allows citizens to participate and influence decision. So here moral reasons highlight the spirit of democracy in power sharing. Yes, correct. A democratic system allows citizens to participate and influence in decisions. Correct. So what will be the correct answer? Option A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Democratic system रे आमे citizens मानन को allow करछे participate करिया पे, influence करिया पे decision making रे. Horizontal distribution of power strengthen democracy. Yes, correct. It allow one organ to dominate other for faster governance. No, नुह. हॉरिजॉन्टल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन रे पावर शेयरिंग जो को हमें चेक एंड बैलेंस हमें मेंटेन करि पाउछ, नुह जे हमें डोमिनेट करिबा. सो ए इज ट्रू बट आर इज फॉल्स. नेक्स्ट, इन इंडिया ministers are responsible, minister means executive are responsible to the parliament. Correct. It is a part of the check and balance system. Yes, correct. Both are correct. R is the correct explanation of A. बहुत बढ़िया क्वेश्चंस अच्छे. ओके, सब थोड़े प्रैक्टिस करके जाओ. एंड आई एम 100% तो कहि भी नहीं, बट मोस्ट प्रोबेबली एवरी टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस तमे आंसर करि परिबो CBSE. ओके, कोनोसी भी क्वेश्चंस खसिबोनी पावर शेयरिंग चैप्टर. नेक्स्ट, the Constitution of India lays down powers of the central and state government. Yes, mention each under union list, under state list. This ensure clarity and prevents conflict between level of government. Yes, Constitution mention each power केमती शेयर करा जाइछि जहा द्वारा prevents करिवो सी conflict को, का भीतर झगड़ा होबनी, clarity आसीबो. Both A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. Assertion, representation of socially weaker section in legislature helps inclusive governance. Yes, हमें कहा को इठे exclude करूने, हमें weaker section को include करछे, inclusive governance को represent करे. Correct. It prevents minority group from it prevents minority groups from feeling alienated. Yes, जेहेतु तांको हमें inclusive करूचे, जेहेतु आम गवर्नान्स इनक्लूड करुचे, आम एक्सक्लूड करूने, सोशल विकर सेक्शन को आम प्रायोरिटी दौचे, आ द्वारा से माने एलिनेटेड फील करेंगे नहीं. इट प्रिवेंट्स माइनॉरिटी ग्रुप फ्रॉम एलिनेटेड. सो राइट आंसर अगेन बोथ ए एंड आर आर ट्रू. आर इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ ए. क्वेश्चन नंबर 17. रिजर्व कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी रिड्यूसेस competition in election. Yes, that is correct. Reserve constituency declare करिबा द्वारा electoral competition आमे reduce करूचे एंड आमे कोनसी weaker section को चांस दोचे जे से माने governance रो part होंतु. They ensure only certain communities can contest. This is wrong. They ensure certain communities no. Certain communities no. समस्त contest करि परिबे. Okay. So right answer will be A is true but R is false. Coalition government are an example of power sharing. Coalition government are an example of power sharing. Yes. Power sharing arrangement among the different political parties. they are formed when no single party gets a majority and several parties come together. Yes, okay, answer will be both and are true, and I is the correct explanation of A. Last question, 100th number question. Okay, this is the last question. Total 100 questions thila. In democracy, power can also be shared through influences by social movement. Yes, he pare. Okay, pressure groups participate करती. Only political parties can share power. No, only political party no, समस्त कर परिबे. A is true but R is false. So right answer will be option C. So this is all about our marathon session. Okay, पावर सेयरिंग चैप्टर प्रायतः क्वेश्चंस को मु निज बेस्ट ट्राए करिछि इंक्लूड करिया पय. केवल इंक्लूड करिनि जदि से होछि सोर्स बेस्ड क्वेश्चन बा कार्टून बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, ता सहित कौन सी केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस को भी मैं इंक्लूड करी नाही. बट आई होप ए क्वेश्चंस गुड़िक सॉल्व कला परे इजीली यू कैन सॉल्व द केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस. ओके, अगेन एट द एंड आई एम suggesting the same thing that during this video, okay, during watching this video always simultaneously use NCERT book use करो, बुक रे अंडरलाइन कर, बुक रे मार्क कर, सो दैट इन फ्यूचर जो बुक को तुम पढ़ सब तो यूट्यूब वीडियो देखिए पढ़नी, तो जो बुक पढ़ इजिली यू कैन रिकल कि हाँ ए पार्ट रू ए क्वेश्चन टे आसला, ए पार्ट रू ए क्वेश्चन टे आसला. ओके, इट विल हेल्प यू ए लॉट. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट टुडेज सेशन. आई होप भिडियोटी आपण मानक बहुत काम आसी. ओके, सो जदि भिडियोटी भल लगुए ताले लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करने भूलें. थैंक यू वेरी मच.